All right, that's Kenny Chesney with the Boys of Fall here on 95.1 KWJB, my friends, and we are live on 95.1, and we are also live at the Native Sun, the one, the only, the Native Sun, as I like to describe it, on the corner of Buffalo and Delicious. So if you're driving down Buffalo, just look to your right for the Delicious on the corner, and you can't miss it. And so we invite you out to join us. This is the last Huddle show for the season. And so, you know, you definitely want to come out this evening, come by, say hi, maybe grab a drink, grab something to eat. And in the meantime, we only have 2 of our 3 Huddle gurus here tonight. And so I'm going to let David start it out. David, take it away.
All right, Ken, thank you very much. Welcome to another edition of the Huddle Show, our final show of the season. This is your #1 source for football information in Van Zandt County. I'm David Barber with Van Zandt Newspapers, joined by the counselor, Joel Elliott. Engineer Ken is with us tonight. And as has been mentioned, we are missing a member of our team tonight, T.A. Hale from the Buzz Brothers. And now, I don't know if there's any truth to this, guys, but I understand that T.A. was spotted in Washington, D.C., hanging around some congressmen about this shutdown, maybe settlement that's coming up, and he may be doing some advising on that. Not sure if that's true or not. If anybody's heard anything else, please.
Is Ufi with him?
No, I heard he was by himself. But,
well, I was going to say, if Ufi's there, nothing's going to get accomplished.
That's just me.
I was hoping he'd have an excuse for not having some of those lines set early in the year.
Yeah, but no.
But instead, he was probably the one causing the government shutdown.
By the way, do we want to talk about the standings on our Ufi picks at this time? Or do we want to share that later?
I am just glad.
We'll save that for later.
Okay.
I just want to thank Scott, who's listening, I'm sure,
Yes,
for participating.
Yes.
So I didn't end up just being by myself back there.
Yeah.
So.
Yes.
Well, you know what they say, every loser needs a hero.
That's right.
Hey, before we get into the football stuff that we need to get into, can I just say a word about today being Veterans Day? And I had the pleasure of covering the Veterans Day program earlier today at the Veterans Memorial here in Canton, and it was outstanding. Now, it was a little cool. It was a little blustery out there, but a tremendous turnout. And our state representative, Brent Money, was the guest speaker, and everyone involved with the program today, I thought, did a great job. And a big shout-out, if I could take just a moment, a big shout-out to the Canton High School. I understand they call it the Leo Club. It's kind of a junior Canton Lions Club organization that they have at the school. But I understand that they were there at the memorial Sunday afternoon helping to get the grounds cleaned up for the program today. And then earlier this morning, they were there to set up chairs and pass out coffee and bottled water to people as they were coming in. And so big shout out to those kids. They did a great job.
Well, and that's one of the things I think you'll never find is anybody to be able to say anything bad about the Canton youth that we have around here when it comes to these civic duties.
Yep. And
being a part of the community, jumping in, and just always, I don't know, they're just always a great group of kids.
It's just an impressive group to be around today. And so congratulations to everyone involved with the program today. It was very well done.
And thank you, vets.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, guys, it's time to talk about our Van Zandt County football teams. And we are down to the playoffs. We have gotten through 10 regular season games. We have 4 of our 5 teams that have made the playoffs. And Joel, man, we've got some interesting results to talk about from last Friday night. Maybe a couple of things we were not anticipating last Friday that occurred. But one team that we need to talk about right now is a team that unfortunately didn't make the playoffs. The Wills Point Tigers saw their season come to an end. And, Joel, I think you have some information to share with us on that.
Unfortunately, Wills Point finished this season in similar fashion to last season. I know that everybody wanted to avenge that loss that was 42-40 last year to Ferris. Wills Point fell short. It was 27-20. Martinez, he had a 57-yard, 1 touchdown running night on only 5 carries, and Jax King had 108 yards receiving. Ferris went on to win. Wills Point had finished the season, I believe that was at 3-7.
Right.
This was kind of an up and down season. Never really could find their grip, from what I could tell. Early on, you had that big loss at the beginning to a really good team, and then after the Maybank game, I thought maybe everything was kind of coming back around. I'll be honest, I thought they had a really good shot at, and I expected them to beat Ferris, but nevertheless, I know that I think the King kid, I believe, is coming back, isn't he?
Yes, he's a sophomore, I believe.
Yeah, he's a young one, and I think they may have some numbers coming back. I know that some of those young kids are they got some experience this year, and maybe next year we'll start looking up. Wills Point doesn't ever stay down long. I mean, just since I've been doing this show, I've seen them have seasons like this, and then they come back and finish the season with only 2 or 3 losses, and make it a round or 2 deep in the playoffs. So, next year will be a different year for them.
Well, we wish them well moving forward, and unfortunately for them, they're now concentrating on basketball. But hopefully they'll be back strong next season, and Coach Boxley and the staff and players will be ready to go for the 2026 campaign. In the meantime, Engineer Ken, if it's okay, I think I'll go as soon as I clear my throat. I think we'll go to a round of sponsors to start.
What
things
do
off.
you know from funny?
I'm sure that's a cue right there to tell me to move on. So
You just go ahead and do your thing there.
do my thing.
Some
okay.
subliminal
In the-
messaging.
Do you
Yes.
need some light, David?
No, I right now I think I'm all right. Yes.
just saying,
Let
if-
there be light.
And there wasn't,
Yes.
and it was
I can
good.
fix that.
Well, we do want to say thank you. My goodness, I feel like
You're a paparazzi. You're
like
you're
I'm
being
on
followed
the-
by the paparazzi. That's what it is.
I'm on the runway at DFW with all that light. Well, let's talk about
That's a
some of our
large model
sponsors,
runway.
and we do want to say thank you to all of our sponsors who have been with us this season, including Austin Bank with branches in Van and Grants Lane, Exit Realty Pro at 1445 South Buffalo Street in Canton, 903-567-7777. We're brought to you by Epic Industrial. They want to wish the best of luck to all of our Van Zandt County High School football teams. We're brought to you by the Dwayne Wheeler Farmers Insurance Agency, 903-963-8887. Auto, home, life, business, farm, and ranch. They're located at 121 West Main in Van. We're also brought to you by Goods Service Station, proud to support Van Vandal football and Van Lady Vandal volleyball. We sell service at Goods Service Station, 903-963-7848, located at 172 East Main in Van. They now carry farm diesel. And we're brought to you by Elliott & Waldron, Abstract and Title Company of Canton, 681 West Dallas Street in Canton, 903-567-4127. I'm David Barber, Van Zandt News sports correspondent, joined by the counselor, Joel Elliott. Engineer Ken is with us tonight. We are carrying on without T.A. Hale from the Buzz Brothers, and we're going to now move on to Engineer Ken.
That's right. And we have, the Native Son, who has graciously hosted us all year long for the football for how many months? They probably feel like it's been 27, but they said they wish we could do more.
We've been here since late August.
See what I'm saying? I knew David would know the answer to that. But anyway, we're very thankful for the Native Son and all the delicious food and the space available to do this, the opportunity to see the different coaches and the players and people coming by. It's been a great time. Thank you, Native Son, for that. And you should definitely come out and try them if you have not been here. And then there's also the Pony Espresso.
Are you tired of the same old cup of coffee from that other store? Then head down to the Pony Espresso Specialty Coffee Shop on the square in historic downtown Canton at 231 East Tyler Street for the best coffee, hot or cold, that you have ever experienced. You can use the drive-thru, or you can come sit a while and swing. Or you can go by their location in Wills Point right off Highway 80 at 535 Houston Street. That's the Pony Espresso Specialty Coffee Shop in Canton and Wills Point.
Parker's Finds Antiques on the square in Canton has lots of vintage stuff that will take you back in time. Locally owned and operated, they have antiques of all kinds. Parker's Finds has vintage items like cookware, plates, Raticutlery knives, books, and furniture. Parker's Finds offers jams, jellies, and all kinds of sauces. With a casual and friendly environment, Parker's Finds is open Monday through Saturday from 10 to 7:30, located at 113 East Tyler Street on the square in Canton. At Parker's Finds Antiques, where old is new and new is old.
All right, now check this out. There's one more sponsor that I have. You're not going to believe this. You're going to know this voice. You're going to know this guy for something that he has done recently.
Feeling disconnected? Tired of the nonstop noise in the country? Well, me too. So let me tell you what I did. I did something extreme. I traded screens for scenes and drove 33,321 miles across America. What I found? Authentic stories and the genuine hope we're starving for. Sit back and take a literary detour with my new book, Heartland Highways in Search of America, available now on Amazon. Take a detour from the chaos, more than a road trip. It's a journey back to connection, humor, and humanity that we've been missing. It'll warm your heart and your soul. Heartland Highways in Search of America by John W. Butler, available now on Amazon.
That's right. You can find that book on Amazon. You can get you the Kindle version, or you can order them. And I tell you what, if you order a copy of the hardback or the paperback, I bet I can get it signed for you. I happen to know people. Or should I say, hold on, I know person. Yeah, let's change that. All right, guys, take it away.
All right. Well, we move along and talk about some more results from last Friday night. And well, Joel, needless to say, it was a long night at Vans Memorial Stadium last Friday night as the Vandals welcomed the number 2 ranked Texarkana Pleasant Grove Hawks into town. And I tell you, they definitely showed why they're number 2 in the state. They have it all. Speed, athleticism, depth. I was talking to engineer Ken off air before we started our show tonight. Texarkana Pleasant Grove had 6 different guys carry the ball in their run game. They played 2 different quarterbacks, and they had 9 different players catch passes Friday night against Van.
I got stuck on him saying they were number 2.
Well, one of the reasons you may be stuck on that, because in 2 Fridays from now, or Thursday, there may be another team in this town that maybe he's having a...
Yeah, it's very possible that Canton could be playing Texarkana Pleasant Grove in the near future.
In 2 weeks.
Told you it was number 2.
Yeah, so you were ready for it, Ken. You had that looming feeling because we're fixing to hear how bad it is.
Well, let me tell you how rough it was for the Vandals the other night. First of all, Van did have 19 first downs in the game, had 109 yards rushing, 167 yards passing, for total yardage of 276 yards. Raleigh Hinch, he had a pretty rough night. Raleigh had 13 out of 24, 167 yards, no touchdowns. He had 3 interceptions. Now, one of those, I will tell you, came as a result of the ball bouncing off the receiver's hands and into the hands of the defensive back. So it was a tough night for all of them. The other night. Really didn't get much going in the run game. But let me tell you about one player. We talk about a highlight from the game the other night. Marcus Fabian, senior. He's been the reserve running back to Q all season long. Marcus had 15 carries for 84 yards and a touchdown. And so a very good night for him.
He's been playing for at least last year. Did he play as a sophomore?
Actually, his brother did.
Okay.
It's his brother.
We had a bunch of Fabians over in Grand Saline in the late 90s. So.
Right. But in the passing game, Leading receiver the other night was Aiden Willis. He had 4 catches for 37 yards. Q, in one of the rare statistical oddities, had more yards receiving than he had yards rushing the other night against Texarkana Pleasant Grove.
And that's a first, I'm presuming.
Yeah. So he had 34 yards rushing and 39 yards receiving. And Cash Walker had 2 receptions and 45 yards for the Vandals. But Texarkana Pleasant Grove, how about 27 first downs for them, 205 yards rushing, 317 yards passing, total yardage of 527 yards last Friday night. They were 22 out of 27 passing Friday night.
I've got a few more questions when you get to a pause.
No punts, no fumbles. Wow, they were a machine the other night.
How many running backs did you say they used?
They had 6 different players carrying the ball.
So 6 different guys, not just played around, they carried the ball.
Yeah.
And how many receivers caught the ball?
9 different receivers.
And did both quarterbacks throw?
Both did. Now, the second one didn't throw much.
But it was still, I'm assuming the 27 was both of them, right?
That's correct. That's correct. And the score was 42-0 at the half. And so the question became, are they going to have a running clock in the second half? Well, as it turned out, they did not. But both teams approached it as if the clock was running, because all we saw in the second half from both teams was the running game. Van only threw the ball twice in the second half and completed both of them. But it was a strange second half from the standpoint of how fast it went without having a running clock. But both teams kept the ball in the center of the field and ran the ball constantly.
It ran itself.
And both teams got, both teams got a couple of scores each in the second half. So the final score was 56-14. And now moving forward, and I will say that, as I mentioned earlier, probably the best news that came out of the game for Van the other night, no injuries. So they're ready to move on and get this Texarkana Pleasant Grove game behind them, because coming up next, by-district playoff game against the Center Rough Riders at the Tomato Bowl in Jacksonville. And it's a 7:30 kickoff Friday night. And I am going to the Tomato Bowl for the first time ever.
See,
this will be your 501st game.
No, 502.
It's hard for me to
502.
believe that in the last 40, how many?
44 seasons.
That you've never been there.
Never been there.
Especially with playoffs.
Yeah.
Playoffs?
Yeah, playoffs. So here's for Van, and I'm looking at the playoff bracket.
Yep.
And I know you never take a game off, you never ease up or anything, but you got to think, okay, at least we've got some breathing room, because and I know it sounds crazy that I would say Sunnyvale is breathing room, but I think after this past game, Sunnyvale looks inviting. So I think that you go take care of business against Center. Van does that. I think that a second shot at Sunnyvale, healthy, and I know that Moffitt will coach it in a way that will work to his advantage after having seen him once. And then it won't surprise me if Van can make it through those 2 games. It wouldn't surprise me if we've got a Highway 19 game with Athens, because if Athens is as good as what they look, or at least from what I understand they look like against Carthage, third round, that could be a Van Athens.
Could be.
Since we're not having this show again,
yeah,
I figure if we're going to talk about it, now's the time to talk about it.
And Athens has got Gilmer in the first round. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know what we're going to see from Gilmer. It appears that they're not the normal Gilmer team, but who knows when the playoffs start?
Who's going to show up?
But
that would just like I'm probably going to talk about Edgewood Grand Saline, if that could possibly happen again. I don't think that Athens Van would be. I mean, that would be a game that you would have a whole lot of people in this area.
Well, you may remember Van played Athens in the first round last year,
right,
and won the game by 8 points. But man, it was a 4-quarter battle, And Coach Harrell at Athens, former offensive coordinator at Van, he's doing a great job with that Athens program. But so far as center is concerned, I asked Coach Moffitt today when I visited with him, I said, well, Coach, y'all have shown the ability to bounce back from a loss and play well the next week. And he said, well, we've had those occasions too often this season. And,
I hear it.
He's they're 6-4. Center is 5-5. So this is a game that on paper, Van appears to be the better team. But and Center last Friday night mysteriously struggled against Rusk. They had to come from behind in the fourth quarter to beat Rusk last week.
So tell me, does this year's Center team appear to be, at least from what I've seen over the last several years that they've played in one of our districts around here,
yes,
really, really talented, but you just don't know what you're going to get?
That is a very good way to sum it up, because Coach Moffitt was telling me about a couple of games they've had this year when they really rose to the occasion, and then a couple of games this year that have been kind of head scratchers, kind of like the Rusk game last Friday night, a team that you would have thought that Center would have dominated. And against a team, Rusk, that was not going to the playoffs and seemingly struggled.
It seems like every time we've talked about Center in a football game, there's no question they've got size, they've got speed, they've got agility and ability and all of that. But sometimes they just don't show up. So
Mama always said Center was like a box of chocolates.
There's an analogy there, and I'm not disagreeing with it. So,
but we'll see what happens Friday night. We've now reached the point there is no margin for error from this point on. One bad night and you're out,
and everybody's done.
And so I'm curious to see. I know one thing that Coach Moffitt's going to be preaching this week: get off to a better start. In the games that we've lost this season, that seems to be a real struggle. Is getting started in the right direction. So hopefully Vandals get their act together this Friday night and can get past Center and advance to the area around. And not looking ahead, but I guess I am, if Van plays Sunnyvale next week, the word is that Tyler might be the location for that game.
Well, that's the latest and greatest. If David Barber has said it and it's about Van, you can pretty much hang your hat on it.
Little Rose Stadium never hurt anybody.
Right.
Unless they were playing Groveton.
And I want to thank, if I could take a moment to thank Van ISD
I'm
for
sure
the
you'll do it.
recognition they gave me last Friday night before the game. Very nice. Joel, they gave me a plaque and a helmet signed by all the team members. Very nice.
That's great. And I meant to ask you about that because I wanted to go everywhere last Friday. And I even told Christy, and she was like, I'm only going one. Pick one. So she went to the first half of the Grand Sling game. But I did want to ask about that. And congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much. And, and it was great to have family there with me the other night. And so
that was pretty special.
Good night.
David.
Good night
That
from that standpoint. And then the game kicked off.
Until it started.
Yeah. Woo. That Texarkana Pleasant Grove bunch is something else. And, hey, you know what they've got this week? They've got a home game. Texarkana Pleasant Grove got a home game against Brownsboro, who is 2-8 this season.
So are they playing at Pleasant Grove? Or are they playing
at Pleasant Grove?
There was some other Mount Vernon is playing at home, even though they're the number 14.
Winsboro, yes,
they
that's
won a
right.
toss or something.
They won a coin toss.
Yeah.
Winsboro's playing at home. Same thing.
Hold on. Brownsboro, like down the road from us, Brownsboro, is playing Pleasant Grove.
Right. In Texarkana.
And they're 2-8.
Right. And
I don't think I understand how this happened.
I do, because in 2021, Canton, when Jacob was a senior, the first round we flipped for it, and we had to go play at Pleasant Grove.
Yeah, but I'm stuck at we're 2-8, and we're in the playoffs.
They got in a three-way tie for fourth place in their district, and they had beaten the other two teams that they were tied with. That was their 2 wins.
All right, now I know.
I've had a discussion about this very issue not just today, but multiple times. It is crazy with the 4 teams getting in. How many teams with
That's
2
just,
or even 1 wins that are
here's the question
that are in the playoffs?
I have. Did they start the clock already?
Yeah, I heard it was
Valid
starting
question.
at the pep
And I
rally.
don't mean
Valid
anything.
question.
I don't mean anything ugly against Brownsboro, but I mean, I would be like, can we just go ahead and, toss? Can we throw in the white flag now? Throw in the towel. Let's be done with this.
Well, as TA would like to say,
Let us be done
hide the women and children.
That's right.
Yeah.
Let's be done with this foolishness.
All right. Well, let's see. Who do we want to talk about next? Let's
Let's
talk
go
about
ahead and hit
Canton.
some sponsors.
You want sponsors?
Yeah, you're
now?
already
Okay.
almost at 6:30.
Okay. Are you trying to tell me I've been
No,
talking too
negative.
much?
No, I wouldn't do such a thing.
All right. Okay. Well, we will get to some sponsors, and then we'll talk about Canton when we come back.
I read DJ Ken's thought bubble.
Yes. Okay.
Hold on. Let me bring that back in here.
Hey, we're brought to you tonight by Legacy Dental Group. Family dentistry, cosmetic dentistry, oral surgery, orthodontics, sedation dentistry, 240 East Highway 243 in Canton, 903-508-2923. We're brought to you by the Rick John State Farm Insurance Agency at 100 North 4th Street in Wills Point, 903-873-2858, Auto, Home, Life, and Health. We're brought to you by Robertson Electric, commercial and residential air conditioning and heating service. Free estimates. We have 2 locations for Robertson Electric. Wills Point is 903-873-2461. Terrell is 972-563-5254. And we're brought to you by M Square Property Management Company at 1455 South Buffalo Street in Canton, 903-502-0202. And we're brought to you by Legacy Ag Credit, financing your legacy. Rural land, country homes, operating capital, farms and ranches, livestock and equipment. 903-567-2251. And we're brought to you by Hall Chevrolet GMC, located at 385 West Dallas Street in Canton, 903-567-4106. I'm David Barber, Van Zandt News sports correspondent, joined by the counselor, Joel Elliott. Engineer Ken is with us tonight. We're carrying on without T.A. Hale from the Buzz Brothers. And, gentlemen, I believe we need to go to Engineer Ken next. No, he's saying not right now.
Here we go.
Boy, I'm getting mixed signals here.
The thought bubbles are getting blurry.
Oh, ours are his.
I did the roll-on thing,
I
but y'all
know.
didn't roll on. Next thing, hold on. I'm going to play Alabama's Roll On Big Mama.
We got square wheels.
No comment.
Are
I'm going to leave that one alone.
we ready to talk about the Canton Eagles?
Let's talk about Canton.
All right. I have information, but you probably do too.
I don't have. I've got Edge. The Bulldog Radio sent me some stuff on them. So I'll tell you what I did. I sat through the first half of the Grand Saline game, and when Canton was still ahead, and I had decided that when I took my wife home, I was going to go watch as much of the Canton game as I could. And right before half, I saw the I don't want to say shanked, the short punt.
Yeah. Well, there was
I don't know if it got blocked
a drop,
or whatever.
snap, all kinds of stuff.
Whatever happened, and then the Lord gave us another chance, and then we fumbled, and then it seems like, from what I could tell, that's when everything just nothing good can happen after all that. When I left the house, Sunnyvale had somehow just scored at the start of the second half to go 35-28. Before I had made it to Canton, it was 42-28, and as soon as
24
or 42-24, excuse me. And then shortly after I got to the game, that it was obvious. And then all I would hear is just seemed like everybody was injured. We had Court Ray having to play linebacker. We had receivers playing corner that hadn't been. I mean, it just seemed like everything that could go wrong was
going wrong.
Was going wrong. And I'll tell you, I was hoping TA was here because I liked hearing his optimism. He said, look, all we need is a score, a stop, another score, and we're back to a 3-point game.
Yeah, he's brilliant like that.
And it just kept going. And I really did. I didn't turn around. I thought Canton had a shot to come back until I got there, and I was finally like, what happened this half?
You know, even in the first half, there was a couple of missed opportunities to capitalize on some really calls that should have happened that didn't happen. And by the time we get into the second half, or towards the end of the first half, we get into the second half, third quarter, we start losing. We had bad snaps, fumbles on punts, little things like that really had a lot of weight. There was a lot of chippiness at the beginning of that game.
Well, and with Sunnyvale, I mean, over the last, especially the last year or two, but it goes back further than that. I mean, Kansas has been playing Sunnyvale either in pre-district or district for 6 or 7, 8 years now.
He said 6, 7.
Yeah, I did. Anywho, but I know that like we were even talking about last week, I think they were playing volleyball up here while we were doing the radio show. There's no love lost between the two towns. But at the start of the game, I thought Canton was fixing to blow this open. I think it was 24-10 when I first, really started paying attention to it. So, like you said, a lot of things didn't go the way that we wanted them to. I know, David, you've actually you've written on this so far. So, I mean, you might have some more to add to it that we haven't even I hadn't even started getting into.
Well, Coach Regal pointed out to me that there were 3 really critical kicking game errors that occurred in the third quarter that turned a close game into a runaway for Sunnyvale. And he told me yesterday, he said, third quarter, not one of our best by any means. But I asked him, because this is now the first time that the Eagles are faced with a situation that they're coming off a loss and preparing for their next game. Mm-hmm. How are they going to respond? Mm-hmm. And Coach Regal is very, very optimistic. He was very upbeat. I don't know what I was expecting to hear from him yesterday, but I was impressed with how upbeat he was about the situation. And he said, let's remind everyone that the season is not over. We are in the playoffs. We are the runner-up team in our district, and we're getting ready to play another good team, Caddo Mills, this week in Royce City. And this is now winner take all.
Sorry, did he have any updates on, for example, our corners or anything?
Not specifically, but he was not very encouraging or optimistic about the injury situation.
Gotcha. Okay.
And historically, and it seems, it seems like we're kind of going back into it. Caddo Mills was another team. I mean, I know we
used to always play. Yeah,
it was another team that we played, almost year in and year out, and it seemed like Caddo always had a way to come back
somewhere,
at the end,
yeah,
or if everybody were healthy, I would feel really good about this. But again, I will never say that anything good comes from a loss, but they know they can lose, and sometimes, right. and I don't. That sounds good, but
that's a double-edged sword.
Once you get to where you've done nothing but win, sometimes you're at a halftime in a playoff game against the team you were supposed to beat, and you're losing, and you're like, "What happened? What do we do?" And you start getting that. And I'm literally talking from experience here. I mean, I was on some teams that didn't lose until we got to the playoffs, and we're in the middle of a game, and it's the first time that we started realizing,
we could lose.
At least since those first few games when we'd played like Van or one of the bigger schools. And for Canton now to have had a Sunnyvale, they're going to go play Caddo, and they're going to see a difference. Caddo's not Sunnyvale.
Right.
And Caddo is going to be a team that they go, okay, let's go do our, that's going to be a team that you may not have to have all your horses at 100% on if you're following your assignments and doing what you're supposed to do. So, that's 1 week.
We've talked all season long about Canton being that next man up. We're talking about it off the air.
Yeah.
At some point, we run out of the next man to be up.
You yell next, and there's nobody standing there.
Yeah. But how about this, the fact that the last 2 weeks, after having the first 8 games being complete blowout wins for Canton, the last 2 weeks, they've been behind at halftime. Mm-hmm. Quinlan Ford bounced back and won. Sunnyvale,
They almost were not behind at halftime. I mean, that was right down to the last bit there.
Right. So they know they've been challenged here the last 2 weeks, and I think that's going to be good for them moving forward in this game, getting ready for a Caddo Mills team, which Coach Regal told me yesterday. He said it's like watching a mirror image of our team when you watch Caddo Mills on film. Same basic offensive and defensive schemes. They've got a fairly young team at Caddo Mills. He is so impressed with their quarterback. He says he has the ability to extend plays down the field. So he said the quarterback is going to be a real key player to control Friday night. And he just thinks this is going to be a down-to-the-wire game, a good game between two good ball clubs. Caddo Mills, keep in mind, is 7-3.
Oh, no, they're
good.
I'll tell you the one secret that they don't have, Coach Udisky. I'm just saying. They don't have Coach Udisky.
Well, there's only one Coach Udisky.
That's right.
I've always said that.
Especially when you try to spell Udisky.
I know, right? That's why it's easier said than done.
That's right.
And they're playing Friday night, 7 o'clock at Royce City.
That's right.
And
we plan to have video. We plan to carry the audio here on the radio station and the app. So if you can't see it, maybe you can hear it.
And broadcast time will be what Friday night?
I'm going to probably try to get the boys on the air by 6:40.
Okay. And that will be the normal crew.
As far as I know, because people don't tell me things like the guy that's missing right here. I don't know that he's missing until he's missing.
I didn't know he was missing until we started talking on the air.
Sometimes I'm treated like chopped liver. I'm just saying.
You didn't get his message. I got this over the weekend.
No, he doesn't give me messages.
Yeah, okay. Well, anyway.
Hear that, T? I'm talking bad about you. There's a foul.
Well, why don't we talk about Edgewood and Grand Saline after I do another round of sponsors?
After, not before.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But we do want to say thank you to Mill Creek Dental. They're making East Texas smile. Dr. Ann A. Duddle, General Family and Cosmetic Dentistry and Orthodontics, 903-567-2207, located at 104 Burnett Trail in Canton. We're brought to you by Ship and Print. Shipping, printing, faxing, copies. They have office supplies. They have a community board. They have retail spaces for rent. They're located at 438 North 4th Street in Wills Point, 972-750-6063. We're brought to you by the Tim James Insurance Agency, Home, Auto, Business, and Farm, 548 West Highway 243 in Canton, 903-567-0627. And we're brought to you by Taylor Automotive at 27928 Highway 64 in Canton, 903-567-3948. I'm David Barber, Van Zandt News Sports Correspondent, joined by the Counselor Joel Elliott. Engineer Ken is with us tonight. We're proceeding on without T.A. Hale this evening, and it's time to talk about, do you want to go Edgewood or Grand Saline? I have information on Edgewood if you want that, or we can go to Grand Saline.
Let me start on Edgewood, and then if I miss something, I'm going to have you jump in.
Okay, very good. Go right ahead.
I've gotten a text message from the Bulldog Radio, Paul Cates, and he has sent me the stats.
Okay.
So let me give you the stat line on this. It was now I don't even remember what the score was. It was a whole bunch to like 12.
59 to 14.
59 to 14. So with that, you had Go Lightly was 10 of 13, 193 yards and 4 touchdowns. Somehow Tony Smith ended up throwing a pass for 39 yards, and it was his only pass and his only completion.
And who caught it?
I don't know that I
Go Lightly caught
it. Did
he?
He? Well, there he is. Okay. Well, there we go. Edgewood had a big night. And I'll tell you, I had talked to Eric before the game, Eric James before the game, or earlier in the week last week. We were talking about Lone Oak. I don't know that Lone Oak was at 100% against Grand Saline. I'm pretty sure they had a running back that was out. Now, I don't know that he was back against Edgewood either, but nevertheless, Edgewood, it didn't matter if he was. So they showed up, showed out. Of course, you had Lucas Pippin led the rushing. He had 10 carries, 129 yards, and he had a touchdown. Go Lightly had 7 carries, 72 yards. and had a touchdown. And then Tony Smith had 3 carries, 23 yards, and had a touchdown. Caden, is that Tobias? He had 1 carry, 12 yards, and had a touchdown. So there were 4 touchdowns on the ground. And then on receiving, it looks like Lucas Pippen had 5 receptions for 134 yards and 3 touchdowns. So Pippen in the game had 4 touchdowns total. So he was racking up some
and over 100 yards rushing and over 100 yards receiving.
Yes. And then you had Aiden Fincher, who had 2 receptions. He had 25 yards. And then, there were several others that had 1 catch. Jathan Johnson had a catch. Go Lightly had his catch. Tony Smith had a catch. And then Tristan Turner had the other receiving touchdown on a 16-yard reception. So Edgewood was lighting it up. Had a pretty big night. Let me see what else they sent me here. I think that may be some season stats, which looks like Pippen finished the regular season 125 carries for 1,258 yards. Throwing the ball, Go Lightly was 150 of 233, 64.4% completion. Had 2,497 yards and had 32 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions. Had 14 drop balls. So, and he's coming back. So,
yeah.
So, for all of us Grant Saline fans,
Well,
here we go.
Edgewood, I believe, has won 6 in a row, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
And I've noticed in their scores, hadn't seen them play, but I've noticed in their scores that their defense seems to have been improving throughout the season. And if that defense continues to play well in the playoffs, hey, Edgewood could be playing for quite a while.
Well, and I just said Edgewood, and maybe I'm wrong, but Edgewood before Grant Saline, it seems like they weren't completely jailed. And I really do. It looks like that game they woke up and their defense has not stopped since.
Right.
So again, I think that Edgewood's looking at this in the playoffs. Now, I'll also tell you another text that I got from one of the guys. New Boston has a tailback that is committed to Texas Tech.
Yes.
He hasn't been playing in the last few games. Didn't play against Hooks, didn't play against Dangerfield, but allegedly he's healthy and is going to be playing this week. So, and I may have given the wrong name. Number 3 for Edgewood is Ashton Roden, Rowden. So if I said the wrong name a while ago, I apologize. Nevertheless, looking at the playoffs here, Edgewood's got New Boston this first week. And then I was also looking, Woodville took a pretty good whooping from Newton earlier this year. And I think that Woodville plays West Rusk. So Edgewood, if they succeed this weekend, would be playing the winner of those two. Then the next week, I would suspect that they would be playing Dangerfield. And then if we're going to talk about Grant Saline, which is on the other side of that region's bracket, Grant Saline did what they were supposed to do against Quitman, which is part of the reason I felt comfortable leaving it at halftime. It was 52-0. Again, I'm not sure that the clock was running in the second half, but I don't think it stopped for any reason, and I doubt anybody threw the ball much. Grant Saline was ahead 52-0 at halftime, finished the game and won 52-0. Jet was 8 of 9 for 153 yards in the air, had 5 touchdown passes. So he only had 3 of his completions that didn't make it to the end zone. The other 5 did. He had 3 carries for 56 yards. Haas had 4 carries for 47 yards. Austin Dugan came in, had 9 carries, 36 yards and a touchdown. Haas had a touchdown rushing too. And then Hayden Cheney had 4 carries for 7 yards. And then Ryder Key was in playing quarterback before the first half even ended. So he had 4 carries for 11 yards. And that's – I like watching Key come in, and he didn't look like he was out of place, didn't look like the stage was too big. I think that he's going to do well. Prox had 4 receptions, 50 yards, and had 3 of the touchdowns. Ashton Withers, sophomore, had 2 catches, 43 yards for touchdowns on both of them. And then Beau Hathcock, the senior, had a reception for 35 yards. Carson Herring had a reception for 8 yards. Cason Bolin had a reception, 17. And Rex Phillips had a reception for 4 yards. On Grand Salene's side of the bracket, this first game against DeKalb, I don't suspect that. I would hope that Grand Salene's able to go pretty well in this game. Kind of one of the things that me and some of the guys over there said, if Jed has it, we talked about this at church. Jed has a good game. We don't get any injuries. We should be fine. Then it looks like we're probably going to have Newton. Newton is going to be really good. But like I was saying last week, I really don't think that our district has been given the credit for how good we may actually be. After watching Troop, the way they played Edgewood earlier this year, it would, and when I say that, it wouldn't surprise me if Lone Oak hangs with Hooks this week. Now, on the flip side, it wouldn't surprise me if they got blown out. But I think that our district is better than we've been given credit for. So I don't want to discount a potential for another game between Grand Salene and Edgewood. I'm serious when I say it. Nothing would make me happier.
But if it's going to happen, it would be 4th round?
It would be.
Yeah.
Okay. So and like I said, Edgewood would have to beat New Boston, most likely Woodville, and then Dangerfield before playing Grand Salene. Grand Salene would have to beat DeKalb, and then most likely Newton, and then most likely Troop, I would suspect. And then that would be your game again.
So there's some challenges there.
There's some challenges, but there's not, and there's not a gunner. There's not
right.
There's not that team that we just know we're supposed to beat ever. There's not a Pleasant Grove in our region, if you will. So, I think it's a possibility.
Now, Ken, I believe we have a special guest that has joined our table.
Specialists of guests. So I'm just going to speak up a little bit.
Okay.
We have Ryan.
Yes.
The one, the only, the hospitable.
Oh, thank you. It's so kind.
Ryan, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Where's TA?
Well,
Usually I slide over here and the seat's a little warm.
We think he's
don't know.
we think he's involved in the negotiations to end the government shutdown.
I got it. Okay, yeah. Talking to the House.
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
a world traveler. He's a man of. He's a world traveler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's okay. DC hail, TA hail, whatever.
First, Ryan, thank you so much for having hosted us for this whole Huddle season. Sadly, on our part, it's coming to an end.
I am pretty bummed that this is the last edition.
But we'll have at least one game coming up.
I would like to think that we have a lot more games coming up. So, we'll see. Last show, but let's,
Last Tuesday night show.
yeah.
Tuesday show.
And can I tell you, sir, what a great staff you have here.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
They have taken extremely good care of us. Certainly taking real good care of me with my sweet tea. I hardly have a empty glass until another full one shows up. So.
Well, it's like I tell people, there's a lot you can train. You can train people like how to fold the napkin and where the fork goes and all that good stuff. But you can't really train somebody to have a smile on their face and just know how to treat people. So.
And they have that.
That's just because they genuinely have a good time doing what they're doing.
I think everybody really enjoys it. Yeah,
I think that's brought on by your leadership in the group in the first place.
Thanks. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm really proud of our team. I think we have a good culture here. And one thing I talk about, it's kind of that JFK thing. That's not what your country can do for you. But, I feel like everybody here brings something to the table. And that's kind of help what makes us, And so, yeah, they bring food to the table. That's right. Oh, I walked right into that
Didn't
one.
you?
Yeah.
And
Speaking of food, do y'all want to eat tonight?
we segued right into
Yeah.
Yeah.
even have to write
Yeah.
sucker.
So I will say that before we go into your ham and brie, Mr. Barber, tonight
With waffle fries.
with waffle fries, that's right, and sweet tea. We've been running a steak for the last week, so tonight it's kind of a smaller portion, kind of I consider it like kind of a good weekday dinner or lunch steak. We're doing an 8-ounce flank steak frites. So it comes with a tarragon béarnaise sauce and nice shoestring potatoes, and it's a pretty good little steak. So super tender, and yeah, pretty proud of it.
Well, Joel, where do you stand?
If I could eat here, I would probably eat a steak. But I don't know that I want the steak to sit in the truck for the next 2 hours while I'm doing my other stuff. And I'll just tell you, I have eaten here so many times, and I say so many times, somewhere around 10 times, and I've never had a disappointing meal.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
So what are you going to order?
Pressure's on.
Well,
Christy's not listening, or I'll get a text. I'm getting the muffalata because I want the muffalata.
all right, let's do it.
I'll eat the turkey if she
Yeah.
makes me, but she didn't tell me to get a turkey sandwich.
And we doing it with the cracklings?
That means you're open, right?
Do what now?
Since she didn't tell you, you're open.
I'm taking it that way.
That's why
Forgiveness, permission.
I get you.
So can I just ask, I was driving back from my game in van back to my office. I round the corner here, and I'm looking over here. It was about 10:30 Friday night. This place was packed. I saw cars all around, and a quick glance looked like you had several people in here. Something big was going on.
Well,
Now, you had the game on. I'm
Yeah.
sure you did.
Yep.
But it was after the game
On a Friday night?
on a Friday night.
Well, look, we have live music here every Friday and Saturday night, so we typically do, a solo acoustic type thing, and then we're kind of the late night destination around here. I mean, if somebody wants to find some place in Canton that's going to be open past 8 o'clock, then we're it. Our kitchen's open till 10 on the weekends, and then we stay open until midnight unless there are people here, and then we will keep the bar open. And so we can stay open till 2. About once every 2 or 3 weeks, we'll be shooing people out the door at 2, but usually we wrap up at about midnight. So
Did you notice how I was leading into him promoting what goes on here on Friday
great.
nights?
You know what? It actually, we should have segued into this last week. Okay, let's try this again. Say 2 weeks ago on a Saturday, I drove by and you guys seemed really busy. What was going on?
Well, what was going on?
Oh, funny you should mention it. So November 1st, it was our 1-year anniversary.
Hey, how about that?
Yeah. So 1 year of cocktails.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Cocktails and cracklins on the square here in Canton. So,
Tails and cracklings.
yeah.
Does it get any more East Texas than that?
I think, you know what? I think the best part about it is that things have only gotten better, especially in the last few months. Business has been consistently growing, and, people are still even happy. And I always love it when I see people that have been in here the first time. I don't think there's a single night we're open where somebody's coming in for the first time. And I know that if they come in for the first time, that we're going to see them a second time, and we do everything we can to make sure we do, so. Anyways, so yeah, I hope it's the first of many years. That's the plan. And we're going into the holidays, so if anybody's got some company Christmas parties or church Christmas parties or whatever, like we have up to 50 seats, and we're booking up a lot of private nights for some Christmas parties, and we'll have some special little holiday events coming on. Last year we did a pre-Thanksgiving night, so the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. And one thing that I've always thought about Canton is I always had friends in college who they're like, oh, I'm going to go home and I'm going to see all my buddies, and we all go out to this, this bar or something and hang out. I'm like, well, in Canton, we never had that place to like go and meet up with your friends, We didn't have those places. And so I love seeing Native Son be that place where you see all these old friends come into town for the holidays, and it's your cousin that you haven't seen in a long time, or your buddy from college, or your high school friends, and everybody meets up here. And so we're going to do karaoke on Wednesday night, and so we're just going to let loose and have fun, and yeah, just have a good reason for everybody to get together the night before Thanksgiving.
Or maybe I'll get the Manster to come over.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, he sang in a musical.
Yeah, you have theater kids. You have theater kids.
Maybe he can do some karaoke.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Karaoke party up here. Invite all
If anybody from Canton wants him to come, get a hold of him. Make him do it. He'll be in town.
Yeah, there you go.
Make him come sing.
Let's go. Let's go.
There you go.
I will send out texts. Yeah. Cool.
I did send him a postcard from your cash register
Oh,
last
thanks.
week.
Appreciate it. Little note from home for college. Yeah, I
Yep.
like that. That's great. Cool.
To go.
With a lot of and the cracklings.
Yes, sir.
The cracklings are the best thing. I mean, not like they're like going to fill you up and make you warm and fun, but gosh, they're good.
I'm going to say
You do steak frites?
choice.
Let's do steak frites.
All right.
I'll treat you. You know, I'll take care of you, Junior.
Try this thing out.
Well,
Try it out. I'll talk about it tomorrow morning.
so I appreciate you guys. Really enjoyed having the show in. I think it's the best thing. I think it's what we're about here. It's like bringing the community together. You guys do that every day, the radio program, like a local radio station, talking about local sports in a local restaurant. I think it's a perfect combination. So we've loved doing this, and this is exactly what we're about. So if y'all need anything going forward, you know, like, we're here for it. So
I really wish you could do a Donald Trump voice.
is the best show. Is the
Words that you use.
the show was great.
With that voice.
You know what? We've been doing Laren does a good Donald Trump. Man, we need to get him over here, you know? Canton, Texas, not too good. They're doing all right. Doing a very good team, some people say. Some people say
Very good.
the best. Grand Saline over here doesn't like him.
What?
Grand Saline says no way. Mr. Elliott doesn't like him.
That was great. I love that.
Wait, who did we just play again? Why am I drawing a blank?
Sunnyvale.
Oh, yeah, Sunnyvale. Horrible team. Got lucky. We'll see him again.
Low IQ.
Low IQ team.
Low IQ team. Everybody's talking about it.
Everybody knows. Everybody's talking about it. Super low IQ. Did you see him announce the football game over the
Yes.
weekend? It was the
Yes.
worst announcing ever. It
Say
was
your
quintessential and funny, but it was the worst. I mean, it was so funny. It was just like, it would be like me announcing a football play. I wouldn't even know where to start. I'd be like, oh, he's got the ball and he ran it over the line. You know, that's not, I mean, I feel like I can talk, but my gift is not play-by-play football, you know? He's throwing a handkerchief. I don't know what it's about. Looks very serious.
Hilarious. I enjoyed that. Thank you very much.
All right. All right. Thank you, gentlemen. What else are
Appreciate
we
you.
talking about? What's on the docket for the rest of the show? Is this it?
Well,
Wrapping up?
we've got some house cleaning to do here concerning our Oofy picks for the
Oh.
season.
So have we covered all the teams?
I believe we've
You can
covered
stick
all
around.
the
I
teams.
don't,
Yeah, I
I don't
might
really
stick
want
around
to talk
for
about
this.
that. Let's talk about something else.
The oopsie picks over here.
You know what? I don't remember losing, but I don't like it. I mean, there's been years that I didn't win, but I don't know that I've ever been.
I have the results courtesy of. No, I'm done. I'm done. I have courtesy of the Roving Reporter the results. I guess these are official.
Well, nobody else has checked them.
Nobody else has checked
He's
them.
not here to dispute them.
But
Well,
TA and I ended up tied for first place with a record of 16-12. Joel, you and the Roving Reporter Scott Myers finished in a tie for third at 13-15.
And considering there's
bad.
nobody behind third, we tied for last. So in
I'm
case y'all-
trying to give you the optimistic view of this.
You only
my dad raised me to learn from, my gosh, if you're not first, you're last.
Thank you, Ricky Bobby.
I just wake up in the morning and, that's not one of the quotes you can say.
What does that mean? I don't know, but I like the sound of it.
Well,
Yeah.
can I change the subject just a little bit and talk about college football for a moment?
Okay, go ahead.
College football, the updated round of standings for the college football playoffs coming out tonight. Don't know what that says, but I was watching over the weekend a guy from CBS Sports HQ. I guess their college football national correspondent, and he came out with his projected top 12 for the college football playoff. He had, believe it or not, he had Georgia playing North Texas in the first round. My alma mater, North Texas, being in the college football playoff.
I didn't have an opinion one way or the other about Georgia. Didn't dislike them, didn't like them, watched them if it was a good game. I don't know if y'all saw the game. It was probably 3 weeks ago when the coach was running down the sideline calling a timeout. And then when they gave him the timeout, he said, I wasn't calling a timeout. I was clapping. and they stopped the clock, let him run the play from a dead ball, and Georgia came back and won.
Ooh.
So from that day forward, I would root almost for ISIS over Georgia.
So you're not a Kirby
Georgia
Smart fan.
No, I think he's a cheater and a liar. So there you go. If you're a Georgia fan, I'm sorry for you. Your coach is a cheater and a liar.
Well, I tell you, I'm just so excited that North Texas is even in the conversation.
And I'll tell you, one of the things that's impressive about North Texas is that kid that's playing quarterback
yes,
never played quarterback
in high school.
Like in high school.
He never took a varsity high school football snap at quarterback. He is the starting quarterback as a freshman at North Texas.
And at least up until last weekend was leading the country in total yards, I think.
Yeah, I think that's right.
So leading the nation in total yards and had never taken a snap before he got to college.
How did this come about?
I really thought David Barber was going to take that whole scenario and talk about college football and then say, and I really couldn't believe that Van is actually going to be playing.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, let's see how they do Friday night. Then we'll talk about if maybe they're worthy of a college football playoff spot. But no, I want to see what happens this Friday first.
So let's recap the games real quick.
Yeah, we've got Thursday night. We got two teams playing Thursday night. We've got Edgewood playing New Boston Thursday. 7 o'clock. Thursday at 7 o'clock, and they're playing in Longview Pine Tree.
Now, is it 7 o'clock or 7:30?
7:30. You're correct. I'm sorry. 7:30 for Edgewood, but it is Thursday. And then Grant Saline, you tell them about what Grant Saline's going to do Thursday.
Grant Saline is playing DeKalb Thursday at 7 p.m. in Sulphur Springs. I believe, is KMU covering that?
No, you may be right. I can't remember.
I think KMU may be covering that game, actually.
Maybe.
I think I heard that this morning. I think I heard Bonus say it this morning.
Okay.
So
you're probably right on that.
So I think that's what we got going over in Sulphur Springs Thursday night. And that game is going to be at 7. So Grant Saline's at 7, Edgewood's at 7:30.
Right.
Grant Saline at Sulphur Springs, Edgewood, and Longview at Pirate Stadium.
And then Friday, we've got two of our teams playing. We've got the Canton Eagles playing the Caddo Mills Foxes, 7 o'clock Friday night in Royce City. And Engineer Kim, what time will the pregame show start?
Pregame's going to show's going to start about 6:40. So about 6:40 p.m. And I'm hoping we'll be able to play What Does the Fox Say? And I'm hoping at the end of it, it'll be, I'm just saying.
And I'm also going to throw it out there on the Grant Saline game. If you want to watch it, the Grant Saline Sun carries it on video on both YouTube and Facebook.
And I'm trying to see, yes, you are correct, sir. On Thursday night, our sister station, KMU, will be carrying Grant Saline and DeKalb. And DeKalb is the Bears, by the way, if anybody needed to know that. So they'll be there 7 o'clock Thursday night. And then their live game Friday is going to be Lindale. And Lindale got a home game in the first round. They're playing Huffman Hargrave, which I understand is down near Houston. And they're playing at Lindale Friday night, 7 o'clock. That game will be on KMU. And the bonus game on Friday night on KMU, Bonus Billy is going to be out of town in Oxford, Mississippi. So they're bringing in some guy named David Barber to handle the bonus game, Van versus Center, Friday night on KMU.
David Barber.
Yes.
He's a pretty good guy, I've heard.
Well,
Stories.
Well,
And
I guess you're going to have to go to the game.
And he likes to eat. So
No, he doesn't.
Great guy.
Great guy.
Hell of a voice. Big booming man.
Friday night, 7:30 is that kickoff
Cool.
at the Tomato Bowl. That's right. All right. Are we done? Can I just say a quick word how much I've enjoyed being with Joel? You?
Really?
I have really enjoyed being with you. I've enjoyed being with TA. You guys make it so much fun. I had a person ask me recently, said, are y'all having as much fun as it appears? And I said, absolutely not. We're having more.
Oh, I was going to say, no, we're just really good actors.
You know, and I'll tell you, this is, and my wife can vouch for this because she goes home and watches like Dateline and stuff. Tuesday nights is one of my favorite nights of the week during football season because I come here and do this with y'all. I go to Grand Saline and do it again. I love high school football, and I love it around here where you know the people. So
Yeah. This is a good crew. All right. Are we ready to say it for the final sign-off of the season? All right. For Engineer Ken. For Ryan, thank you, sir. We appreciate you.
Glad to be here.
For T.A. Hale, who's not here tonight, we miss you, buddy. For Joel Elliott, the counselor.
we'll see you next August.
That's right. I'm David Barber. We always like to say at the end of our show, and we really mean it this time, that you've been listening and watching the Huddle Show on the Bee.